Mike, how you guys doing today? All right. Just making sure we have things working here. Get the chat going. All right, my machine's being super slow for some reason. So hopefully we can get it going. All right, can you guys hear me okay? Just working out? Hey, what's up, Mortar? How's it going? What is heaven sound? I don't know what that means. All right, let me just share these really fast. How you guys doing? All right, just sharing to my page. And then sharing to, I love how my preview on Facebook looks like I'm giving you a hug. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, Mortar, are you going to be at the summit? I hope so. That'd be sweet. Okay, so this is kind of where we left off last week. Oh, you're not? Oh, dang. Hey, what's up, me? Welcome, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So what I want to do with this is essentially combine all the pieces and then just start kind of going to town with adding the extra details and whatnot. Hey, what's up, Neil? Okay, so what we're going to do is merge this down. Trying to decide still. Yeah, I think I will. Let's merge it down. Look at that. That's a keeper right there. Okay. Did I do the right thing? It looks like he's got some extra, like an extra set of lips happening in there. Let's see. I think I did a new bottom jaw or something. So I'm trying to remember. It's always fun to see, like, trying to remember where where I did or where I left off. Let's just say that. Okay. And sometimes your custom UI doesn't want to reset. So let me go. I need to go grab it. Hold on a second. I need to actually go load it. No, I had duplicated it and then I shrunk it. I must have shrank it down and not realized what I had done. What have you done? So let's see. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. My menu's not working because it didn't exist. There it goes. Okay, now we're good. All right. I just had to load that thing back up. So now we should be good. Okay. Yeah, half your day. Let's see. Merge down again. Oh, partially hidden. Delete. Then merge down. Okay, now we're good to go. All right, so I want to duplicate this. And I think I'm going to leave the gums as separate pieces. I'm not going to merge the gums in. Finally caught a stream. Well, welcome. Hello from Swiss. Hey guys, how's it going? Let me know if I missed any questions because I'm trying to get up and going here. Thanks for your tips. You're welcome. Okay. Every time I try and import FBX to ZBrush, it asks me to select polymesh. That sounds weird. Okay. Let's, I want to hide the original, and then I'm going to merge these together. And I'm going to do a remesh by union here. I need to reset my gizmo. And let's see how it does. Okay, not bad. Yeah, we're stitching right off the bat. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. Let's hit accept, turn mirror back on. And if I hit Control W. And now I'm just going to try and ZRemesh this and see what happens. Okay, so let's go target poly count 3, maybe 5. We'll see what. Let's see what 5 gives us. Oh no, I'm not going to use nano mesh. That's too much. Okay, I'm going to undo this and actually apply the dynamic subdivisions before I ZRemesh, because it's trying to follow the lower resolution mesh. So let's try it one more time. Has it? Yeah, it's a really cool trick. Let's see if what this gives us. Okay, not bad. That's better. See, the nose is looking better. Okay, so we're doing good now. Now this is a good mesh to start with, I think. We can turn dynamic back on. And I really want to fix I want to put all these wrinkles in underneath the throat. So that's what I want to start with. And what I want to do is kind of pull this stuff out and then smooth it. Let's turn off spotlight projection so we can actually get a smooth brush that works. So this is going to be tricky, but I think fun at the same time. All right. Did you guys all see that new Frozen trailer that dropped today? Looks pretty good. Even though I'm not a huge fan of Frozen, but this one looks pretty good. You need tutorials on realistic skin coloring and texturing. You might want to check out, gosh, I'm trying to remember. Maddie. I'm trying to remember her name. She's streamed on here a couple times. She does a really nice realistic skin tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to now I just wanted to puff this chin out a little bit more, and then I want to ZRemesh it again just to see what it does. Yeah, Dan. Okay. Is dynamic a new feature? No, dynamic subdivision has been in since they added live Boolean. That's kind of when I'm not sure when they introduced that. Okay, so now that I have this area ZRemesh, every time you ZRemesh, what happens is your details will kind of melt a little bit more and a little bit more. So you just need to be careful with that. And basically, like, see this this mouth, how it's coming together. It's getting kind of ruined a little bit. So I'm going to pull this back. And then I want ZRemesher to actually use this kind of this cheek fat thing that I got going on here. And I want to ZRemesh again to see if I can get it to work. Okay, because ZRemesher it'll follow peaks and valleys, it will follow groups, it'll follow quite a few different things. Okay, let's see what happens now. I'm gonna duplicate it just in case I need to go back. It's probably going to give me a mess. Not too bad. It's okay. How do you create macros in ZBrush, Night Shadow? I'm not sure. I have not created any macros in ZBrush. So I know there's a menu for it up here, but I haven't really done it, too much of it. Well, none of it, actually. So I would not be the person to ask. I would either email support or see if you can find documentation on it online. I think Michael Pavlovich does that kind of stuff. And then, of course, like Paul Gabriel and Joseph Drust, they would know for sure. But yeah, I just haven't found the need for some reason. I'm just going to pinch this. Okay, this is good, but I want it better. As far as the mouth here, there we go. Let's inflate it a bit. Oh, thanks, Mortar. Did Danny do a tutorial on macros? Is that what that is? That's awesome. Okay. And I'm still getting over this this throat thing. So I apologize. I have to clear my throat a lot. I went to the Lightbox Expo. Met a lot of really cool people. But I think every time I go to an expo, I get some kind of a sickness. Because shaking so many hands and greeting so many people. Okay. Let's start working on these wrinkles. Oh, he does. Oh, cool. I did not know that. Are you talking about, oh, Danny Mac. I was thinking Danny Williams. Yeah, Danny Mac. Right, right. Yeah, he does awesome stuff. Okay. So I do like to use the cloth brush for bigger wrinkles like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these wrinkles and then I'm going to put, like, I'm going to scrunch them in. So it's hard to make them be there to begin with, like all scrunched in like this. So I like to like build them out and then push them up in there. Stuff like that. All right. Oh, Neil, yeah, that. So I've been playing that new Zelda game. It's pretty cool. I love the tilt shift and the music and like the old school puzzles. But yeah, Matthew Armstrong did a really cool. So Matt's a really good friend of mine. I worked with him for many years, and we do this Wednesday game night where we still play with each other, just video games, just kind of, it's like a geek poker night kind of thing. I play with a handful of my friends, and we just choose a game. Like it's usually Diablo or like Monster Hunter, or yeah, it just kind of varies depending on the mood we're in. Sometimes we'll do Destiny, and anyway, Matt is a really, really good concept artist, and he was one of my very first students in my course. And it was because he wanted to learn how to do 3D, and he was a 2D artist, and he was one of the beta testers for my course, and he made a fan art of Diva from Overwatch, and it turned out just extremely well. So yeah, he's just an awesome artist altogether. I did play Destiny 2 for a little bit. I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. I just haven't. I got into Destiny 1 more. I don't know why. I haven't played too much. Okay, I need to close that up. Let's crank the intensity of this up a little bit. Just want to make this smaller. Thanks, Neil. Yeah, I do have a course, and I'm getting to be... I'm actually sponsoring the ZBrush Summit this year again with my course. If you guys, I'm giving away 3 seats of my course during the show. And how you win it is you answer questions on Twitter online in between talks. So they do talks all weekend long this coming weekend. And they'll ask a question. You have to answer it on Twitter with whatever hashtag they tell you to put on there. So that's a lot of fun. It's funny because last year one of my students won it. And he's like, I already own this. Can I change prizes? And they were good to let him change prizes, so that's cool. I'm trying my hardest not to go into Sculptress Pro on this guy, but I might have to. We'll see. I'm just really trying to work out this the lip and how it all comes together back in the cheek smile area. It's kind of an interesting challenge there. Yeah, Neil, get in there. Okay, I'm gonna ZRemesh one more time. I'm gonna have 1 billion heads by the time I'm done here, because I want to see what ZRemesher will do with this and this down here. So this is getting better. But like I said, every time you ZRemesh, it's like it melts just a little bit. Hey, Amir, thank you so much. Amir, I'm not sure how you say your name. Thank you so much. I am going to the summit. Are you, Doug? I will be there. I go there every year. It's kind of like my Christmas in a way. Or a reunion, a friend reunion. A lot of professional ZBrush modelers go. So it's always fun to catch up and say hi to all my friends. And a lot of my friends from overseas come. So that's probably the coolest thing about it, is I get to do meet and greets with my friends from overseas. And that just doesn't happen, you know, often. So and then of course they have the sculpt off, and they have little contests here and there. All right. Hey, what's up, James? The red wax religion there. Right. Okay. So I'm gonna try and start adjusting this mouth now that I have kind of this stuff worked out a little bit. Okay. And we'll do the detail like this. I'm not sure exactly what I'll do with the scales. I'll probably do some alphas or something like that, but I'm not quite sure. And every time I ZRemesh, it looks like I'm deflating those eyebrows little by little. See how they're getting shorter and shorter. Hey, from Brazil, how are you? How's it going, Anderson? Thanks for stopping by. Let's inflate those back up. Oh, you're funny. So are you going to be there, Doug? Did you say? I missed it. Let's see. Patrice, in the last version of ZBrush, do we still need to have your ruler or something appear to have the same unit as the other programs? You know, that's a tricky question. And yes, because ZBrush doesn't really have its own, it has its own native units, but those units don't really, as far as my knowledge goes, they don't really match anything. So that's why I made my own kind of ruler file to help with that. I'll nudge these eyeballs. These eyes are not round, so I'm just going to cheat with them a little bit and make them not round. Anyway, yeah, so you guys, I give away my ruler file for free over on 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can grab that. And the file is, like I've shown before, it's more than just a ruler. The file itself, it's a project. And typically I recommend to save ZTools, not projects, and I'll load the ruler project in every single time before I start modeling inside of ZBrush, just because it'll help me kind of standardize a scale with all my characters. Hey Kagri, how's it going? Yeah, you can use Scale Master, but you know, I just tend to like using the ruler file just because I have it set up that way. Because then I can go back and forth between something like Maya and it'll stick. So if you look, and this is going to be off, but so here's this ruler, right? This is my ruler. And if you turn on the floor grid, you can see that, here, let me solo the ruler. I'll just explain it really quickly. Okay, so this ruler is essentially a 2-meter ruler is how I've built it, but it's also a 20-centimeter ruler, or you can think of it as a 200-millimeter ruler. And all these ticks right here, the small ones represent millimeters, the numbers represent centimeters, and then I just have 1 meter and 2 meter. I know that's not how metrics work, but you can use them as either centimeters or meters because they're just divisible by 10, which is amazing. And if you use it as meters, you can go back and forth between Maya, no problem, because underneath export down here, I have the scale set to 100, and that's what Maya requires to go back and forth between the two. So it's set up that way. Also, I've set up the transpose tool. So if you turn on the gizmo, okay, like if you turn on the gizmo and then you turn it to the transpose tool, see this gizmo 3D up here? If you toggle that off, you'll get the transpose line. See this guy right here? So if you start down in this corner and you start measuring up, look in this top left corner, you'll see units, okay? And these units are based on the millimeters. Hold on, saving project. You know, my saving project has been slow. Okay, it's not too slow today. All right. So as I grab and pull on this transpose line, you can see up in the left-hand corner, see how it says 90 units, right? So it's measuring like millimeters. So like 90 millimeters, 100 millimeters right here. So this transpose line you can use to measure any part of your model to see how many millimeters thick things are, how long their arms are, if you're going to do some 3D printing or something like that. So that's how, so this ruler file is more than just a ruler file. It's also, it has the scale and everything built into the project. So that's what we used on Disney Infinity, is we used a ruler like this to measure our figures. This was before the Scale Master tool. So this is just the way that I've done it, and this is the way I still tend to use it. So if you want that ruler file, like I said, I give it away for free over on my website. You can check it out. Oh, so one, I am moving. So I'm in a temporary location right now. This is a rental house. I'm building a new home down about an hour south of where I used to live. So we used to live down there, and we moved up north so I could take a train into the city, so I didn't have to drive on the crazy freeways. But then Disney shut down, and so I don't need to take that train anymore. So I wanted to move back to the city where I used to live, and so we're currently building a new house, and we're gonna move there soon. So probably late October, then I'll get my background back again. So Neil, that's an interesting idea. Print the ruler out. That's kind of fun. Okay, so back to it. All right. No worries, Patrice. You are welcome. Okay, so I'm wanting to kind of jam these wrinkles up underneath his chin more. Doug, right? Why don't you just learn how to fly a helicopter? Jeez. I was listening to a Bill Burr special last night, and he was actually talking about wanting to learn how to fly a helicopter. Oh, it was cracking me up. Because he lives in LA. It's like, I just want a helicopter so I can fly over all this crappy traffic. And I don't blame him. Okay, let's see here. Let's fix this lower jaw. Hey, what's up, Dustin? How you doing, man? It was so dumb you loved it. I don't think I've ever seen it, honestly. I just like the character, so I'm like, let's do it. Let's model that thing. Let's pull his mouth out wider. It's so dumb, I loved it. There's a few movies like that. And I think Napoleon Dynamite's one of those. It's so dumb, I loved it. Hey, what's up, Angela? All right, I'm gonna do the top lip. Something like that. The T-Rex chicks in Ice Age. Yeah, you know, I like Ice Age, the movie, but I wasn't a huge fan of the character designs. They're okay. Like, I don't know why, they just weren't appealing to me. I have nothing against the designers or anything like that. It's just, I don't know what it was. I just wasn't a fan. I liked the sloth guy. He was all right, and the squirrel was pretty funny. I guess that saber-toothed tiger, but the humans. I know they were trying for a new look. Hey, what's up, Marty? Oh, somebody was asking how to get a ZBrush license. You can just go to pixelogic.com and purchase there. And I don't work for Pixelogic. I just volunteer to sculpt on here to make characters because it's fun. So don't get the wrong idea. I don't know what that means. Oh, I actually like the Crudes. You're right. Yeah, they were pretty good. Yeah, they were fun designs. Oh, graphic, that's cool. So I hear that there's going to be kind of a, I don't know if you call it a contest, probably at the summit, where it's like an emoji contest. So last year they did a contest where it was like a speed sculpt contest. I'm trying to remember the premise of it, but they had a bunch of computers set up just out on the outside underneath some tents and stuff, and you could just kind of pull up and do a speed sculpt really quick, and they'd save out your file and put it under your name, and then people would judge later on, and you could win a 3D printer, I believe. And they're doing it again this year, but they're using ZBrush Core, which is interesting to me. So they're saying design something in ZBrush Core that's an emoji. So I'm trying to decide if I have time to do it this year. I didn't have time to do it last year because I was so busy, but if I have time to do it this year, I'm trying to decide what emoji I would do. Okay, I'm just going to close this with inflate. Michelangelo challenge. Thank you. Yeah. So Michelangelo challenge, which was like, it was interesting. It was the first year they did it. They had some power issues, which was kind of sad, but you know, it's like they got it going. It was cool. That's right, Mortar. Yeah, it was. So you wanted to start with a cube, right? They wanted you to start with a cube and then like reveal the Michelangelo sculpt that was inside. But the problem was, in my opinion, was it was a speed sculpt, so you had to, you know, rush and get something done in a very short amount of time and make it look decent. I mean, this guy is going on, you know, 2.5 hours so far, and you know, it was like a 10-minute sculpt or something like that. Yeah, just I don't know what I could pull out of my head in 10 minutes. Or out of my butt. I guess it would be. I'm not a fan of whatever wrinkles are happening underneath here. They're not jiving with me too much. Need to go. Sometimes ZBrush mess the scale of models if imported as an OBJ. Yeah, Pradeep, I just barely went through that with, and the way I go about that is you can either use GoZ, which is a plugin for ZBrush, or you can, if you're going to import and export as an OBJ, I made a ruler file to help with that problem. And you can download that ruler for free on my website. And but essentially, if you set your export scale right here to 100, then you typically don't have that problem going back and forth because that's the scale difference. But that's, yeah, you can try that. Otherwise, it will scale it down by 100 as you're going back and forth, which is a pain in the butt, not gonna lie. Okay. And that's just with Maya. I know every piece of software has their own scale size as you're going back and forth, so you just kind of have to find that export scale, what'll work for you. Okay, there's some warbles happening in here, and I don't know where they're coming from. Let's see. I want to pull this whole thing wider. Oh, 15-minute scopes. Yeah, they're just... It's difficult, to say the least. It's a good exercise, though. So, you know, it'll sharpen your skills for sure. We used to do these things called lunch crunch back in the day. Danny Williams started this lunch crunch where it's just like during lunch, you know, you have like an hour and a half break or whatever, and just kind of sculpt something to hone your skills. You know, that's kind of the idea behind it. And I did a bunch, just a handful of them, and that was a lot of fun. That's when I first started getting into speed sculpting. And it's good to speed sculpt in general just because it's like it gives you a chance to not care as much about your model. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you're going to be drawing in a brand new sketchbook and you just stare at that white page, you're just like, oh crap, I'm going to mess this up, right? You're just like, yeah, the analysis paralysis. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's the perfect word, right? Because you'll look at this blank page and you're just like, yeah, analysis. You'll just be paralyzed. You just look at it and just be like, oh man, what am I gonna do, right? But if you don't care, if you can get past caring, and you're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna sculpt this thing and I don't care what it turns out like. I'm just gonna throw it away in the end or whatever. That's what speed sculpting is all about. And sometimes some really good ideas will come out of it, you know, so, or some good sculpts, because all of a sudden you're not caring, you're just artistically free flowing and you can just kind of like go for it, you know. And I always used to, I tell my students, I had, my kids had this thing called a magna doodle. You guys ever seen those magna doodles? It's kind of like an etch-a-sketch, but it comes with a little pen, and it comes with little metallic fibers on the inside of it. So when you draw, it kind of pulls those metallic fibers to the surface, and then it has like this wipey thing that wipes it clean. And it's just really good for just like super fast, sketchy, I don't care about this ideas. And it just kind of, it's very freeing in a way. I mean, you're not going to get, you know, very good designs out of it or anything because it's just metallic fibers, but still it's good to mess with because, like I said, it's just kind of freeing. Okay, so let's go to the next step here. I think we're ready to add some subdivision levels to this. Oh man, does she really say that? Oh, that's a good way to put it, I guess. Don't be afraid to kill your babies. All right. So I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to actually apply these dynamic subdivision levels and add a few more and take it up to about 3 million. Yeah, right? Jovial Brit. Oh my goodness. You know, Ash, what Ash is saying, or what she means, is don't be afraid to change stuff and change stuff in a big way, because you know if you, it's like in film, when say you get a really good scene filmed and it just doesn't fit, you know, it doesn't fit inside the film, it just doesn't help the story or anything like that, and you just need to edit it out. And that's what that means, is don't be afraid to edit it out. Don't be afraid to make some really big moves, or if something's not working, start over with that piece or even the whole character. It just depends on where you're at and what you're doing. Yeah, because I'll see a bunch of my students, they'll spend all of this time on their character, like a little portion or something like that, and so if the base is completely off, then no amount of detail is going to fix it, if that makes sense, right? You can't, how the saying goes, you can't polish a turd, you know. You gotta make the base look good first before doing all the details. And if your base doesn't look good, then you're going to have to change it, no matter how many details or how much time you spent on it, especially if you're working for a client. So Beefcake, yeah, you can do that, or you can just you can save off subtools, either way. Okay, I'm gonna start adding some color just for fun. Hey, what's up, Ikaruga? How you doing? All right, here we go. Let's pull this open. And we're gonna go with this orange. Why not? Okay, let's fill the object with this orange, and then we'll work out the yellow. Maybe read this. Let's see what this looks like. It's not bright enough. That'll work. Okay. You got to take apart your Cintiq. Oh, that doesn't sound like fun at all. Okay, let's get this into a spot where I can actually get some good paint on here. And the reason these edges are clean is I have this subdivided up high enough. So this is subdivided up to 3 million polys right now. What are those brushes on the bottom center? So this is my pinch brush, which is essentially a Ma cut brush. Ma is Malachus the Black. He developed that brush. And I just kind of tweaked it and made a new icon so I could see the profile of it. And then this is a cloth brush. This is originally an SK brush. SK is, I can't pronounce his name. He's another streamer here on Pixelogic live streams. There are a few of these brushes that are based off of his brushes. So this is cloth, this is fill. Both of these are based off of SK brushes. This one is essentially a Damien standard brush that's been kind of tuned a little bit so it doesn't have dots as you go around the corner. And then this is just the regular polish brush, H polish, but it comes to a flat point instead of pushes in. And then just this is a regular trim dynamic and regular inflate that I haven't messed with. I just changed the icons on them. But I give away these for free on my website. You can go check them out on 3dcharacterworkshop.com. Right on the front page, you can grab them. If you like them, that's awesome. Yes, he is. I got to meet him at the ZBrush Summit once. He made it there one year, and we hung out and drank beers, and he's a really cool guy. I love talking to him. It's funny because when he first introduced himself to me, he didn't introduce himself obviously as Malachus the Black. He introduced himself as his real name, and I'm just like, oh, cool, good to meet you, you know? And then it took me a second, and he walked away, and I'm just like, wait a minute, is that who I think it is? And then I go back, and I'm like, dude, are you Malachus? Are you Ma from Ma Cut Brush? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I had no idea. So after that, then we kind of hit it off, and yeah, and then Damien from the Damn Standard Brush, that guy, he's shown up for the last 2 years. It's really cool hanging out with him too. Am I the Sean Olson? What's up, Ryan? Yeah, Sean. So Damien's he's a really cool guy, and he came out with the Damien Standard Brush 2.0 that I still have yet to try. You can't spell. How are you, Ryan? All right. Let's see. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Neil. So Malachus makes a whole bunch of really cool brushes, and you should check them out. They're awesome. I just use the Ma Cut brush the most. So I just kind of tweaked it a little bit and made a new icon for it. Because yeah, the settings, I like the settings a little different, but that's kind of where it grew from. And he actually has, Malchus actually has a tutorial where he shows exactly how he made that brush. It's kind of by accident. It was a happy little accident. And yes, sometimes I'll paint on my characters upside down. Okay, let's fix this. I think this yellow is actually going to go up higher. Like that. Yeah, SK has some really great brushes. Like I said, that's where a handful of mine started from, or his. Actually, I need to change some of the credits on here so people know where they came from. Sometimes I feel like I just change the icon and call them mine, which is not the case. Okay, let's see. Maybe even smaller than that. There we go. Oh, gosh, dang it. So it's crazy because ZBrush brushes are actually spheres. Like that, if you think about them, they're represented by this this circle that rolls around on the surface, but they're actually spheres in space. So if I get too close to this area right here with too big of a brush, it's going to paint up on there because it's a sphere. So I'm just being kind of finicky about these. Whoop. Okay, so let's continue with the colors here. Color makes such a huge difference. Always, always. Hey, what's up, Angry? How's it going? What's up, Tenchi? Cheeto T. You better brush those, Dinosaur guy. Let's get him filled, shall we? Fill, and then let's get the gums. Maybe this color. Is his tongue in there? He had a tongue. Where did it go? There it is. It's part of this thing. Okay. Looks like I busted this off and... Alright, let's fix it. I gotta pull this tongue off of this piece. This must have been... I can't remember what I was doing. So let's do a split hidden here. Now we have a tongue. We'll fill that. And his gums. And I'm gonna, I'll be painting some gradients on these. Don't worry. I'll think all the time believing they were just projected on the mesh, not spheres. Oh, really? Yep. That's why if you have an object that has like it's super duper thin, when you paint on one side of the object, it's actually going to paint on the other side if your brush is too big, because that brush is a sphere. So if you think about, you know, pushing the sphere into that surface, the other back side of that sphere is going to push through the back and actually paint it. So that's why you turn on back face mask, or you hide it, or you make your brush small enough that the sphere doesn't cross onto the back side of it. So, all right. What's up, Ghost of Christmas Future? How you doing, man? Yep, pink eye. Stinking pink eye. All right, let's see. Now, I'm still trying to decide how I want to do these scales. Like, pink eye, pink eye. Okay. So, but first I want to do some gradients. Let's do some gradients because I really like this dark orange that's going on here. And now that I have these two different colors, I can do a mask by intensity. But it looks like they might even be, well, I got to be on the right object. There we go. Okay. So it works really well if I only have two colors, right? So now I have this and I have this because I want to mask off the orange or the yellow while I work on the orange. And then I'll switch to this airbrush and just kind of do some gradients. I'm only going to do some hand-painted texture work right now. I'm not going to take it anywhere else and do texture work on him. So just hand-painted stuff. And then we'll figure out the scales too. I can also hide this mask if I want to see like what the colors versus the yellow is going to look like. So if I go down to masking, so it says view mask, I can just turn that off and that's still being masked, but it's I don't have to see the dark color of it. Let's get really dark by these eyes. You gotta be careful because some of this is actually just from the lighting of it, not from the color, not from the gradation. So I need to be just careful. Put some back here. And maybe some right here. So a long time ago, I did a tutorial for digital tutors. Do you guys remember digital tutors? They're Pluralsight now. I think it's called Pluralsight. And I did a little dinosaur, a little T-Rex for digital tutors, and this guy kind of reminds me of that. I'm going to invert the mask and paint a little bit of this orange. So what I could do, and this might be effective, is paint the scales, like just hand paint them as a mask, and then just paint around them to show, and then I can also paint some inflate on there to inflate the scales through the mask. I might just do that. That might be fun. When you turn off view mask, does it automatically reset to being visible once you draw a new mask? Yes. Or are you supposed to remember that you turned it off? Nope. Anytime. So you saw me when I inverted the mask, it actually, now I can see it because I did something to it. So anytime you do something to the mask or redraw it, it'll pop back visible. Oh, looks like I missed on the back of the nostrils here. Now we'll fix that in a little bit. Okay. So, I want to try, I'm just going to try some stuff here. I want to fill it with a more of a medium orange instead, like this, because that's kind of more of the base color that's going on back here. And then I'm going to paint I'll paint some scales on here, and then I'll fill those with like the yellow. So let's see, let's clear this mask and see. Let me save it first. Switch. Okay. Sorry, it's saving. Save. There we go. Okay. So what I want to do with this is I'm going to put it on a layer. Okay, so anytime I do surface work, this is the only time I'll ever use layers, because layers, they can be dangerous. And when I say dangerous, it just means that not all things like to work with layers. So, but masking and surface details, those are very, very good things to put on layers. So I'm just going to go to Mask Pen, and I'm just going to start masking out some stuff. I'm just going to kind of try it. Now, like I said, I could use alphas and just go crazy with alphas, but I kind of want that hand-painted look on here a little bit. All right, yeah, no worries. Thanks for hanging out. This is a little too soft. There we go. And then I can come down here and just kind of interlink these together, trying to make them chaotic a little bit. And these just kind of have a big splotch. And I'm going to be turning off symmetry as I get closer to the center, just so I can have a little randomness, sort of. It looks like this is just like a paint splotch. Whoops. So what happens if you hold down Control and you tap on the surface, you'll see that it will feather them in. And that's not what you want. Zofra, I'm not sure. I got him a long time ago, so I'm not sure where his newer ones are, or if he's updated. Oh, see, it did it again. If I tap too fast, it will do this kind of a blend thing. Oh gosh. Gotta be careful. Let's blend some of these together. Sorry, this is gonna take a while. JPEG Movement. How's it going? Love the name. Let's make some of these elongated, like taller, so they're not so perfectly round. So they have some direction to them. Looks like a couple of them go across this line right here, which could be kind of fun. And even up around the nose. Thanks, sir. Okay, so let's turn off symmetry for a second. I just kind of take it across. And I know this doesn't look exactly like the concept, but I'm just taking some liberties. Looks like he's got a bad case of measles or something. Take these down into the lip more, just so they wrap around. Did you find him, Neil? Sweet. Thanks for that. Do a couple smallish. Oh, come on. When and why do you deviate from concepts? That's a good question. Usually, if you're... what I usually try and do is I try and nail the concept 100%. But if I feel like it could benefit from a little more, you know, something here, something there, then I'll try it. But I'll usually take it to the concept and, like I said, try and match it 100%, but it's not always the case. Thank you so much. So I'm going to put these down. Let me make a bigger brush. These are getting kind of warped. Yep. What's up, Lucia? Yeah, freckled. That's why I said he's like, he's got the measles or something. Sometimes you just need to take the time to put in some scales by hand. And it can be kind of therapeutic in a way, like doing UVs or retopology can be therapeutic. So instead of like, sometimes it's good to find shortcuts like alphas and things like that, but sometimes it's just better to just hand paint and just go to town. So these down here they look a little larger and kind of closer together. So I might try and do that. And sometimes when you're working with a concept artist, the concept artist will have one vision in their head and then they see your 3D model. They'll be like, oh, what I had in my head really doesn't work in 3D. Let's try something different. And then you'll be kind of working together as a team to make the character be what it is in the end. And that's a lot of fun too. Like there's this guy that I worked with at Disney on Disney Infinity. His name's Josh Black, and he was a lot of fun to kind of throw ideas off of. I'm just going to fill these in a little bit more here and there, and then put in some small ones just for flavor. Okay, so now that we have this, I think I want to join a few more in some of these spots. Just to fill out, because I'm looking at like the amount of orange in there versus like, yeah. Okay, and I see how this has this scalloped look along the lip. I think I want to back these the mask off of here and try and get that a little more. So let's redo this area just really quickly. Hey, what's up, 3D Art? How you doing? You missed me. I've been trying to stream a little more. So I streamed last Monday and again today. Time for a drink is what that means. Okay. So I'm just going to pull these down a little bit further. And then some of these, oh man. I wish these were offset a little bit. Oh well, they are what they are. Because otherwise I think I'd have to do, like, redo them, which I think I will. I'm such a, oh man. It's like, oh, let's just redo them. Okay. Sorry, thanks for your patience. Just want to go like this. Let me see. Let's first bring these up, and then we'll bring those down. Okay. Because I'm looking at the negative space on these. Excuse me. Not as much as the scales themselves, but the negative space they're creating. So my kids showed me a new anime. Well, not new. It's been around for a couple seasons now, but it's called My Hero Academia. Any of you guys watch that? Anyway, I've grown to like it quite a bit. I like the characters in it. I'm usually not an anime fan. I don't watch very much of it, but mostly Miyazaki films. Come on. One for all, right? I love it. Okay. Excuse me. So now that we have this mask, we're going to invert it. And then we can turn off view mask. You can't even see it. Now check this out. This is kind of where the magic happens. Is I can take this airbrush, make it really big. On Netflix, yeah. I don't think that one is on Netflix. Okay, so check that out. See how it's just kind of coming into play here. You can just kind of subtly paint it so it shows up. I still want to have a lot of that orange behind it. Yep, One Punch Man is amazing. I watched that one too. I only watched the first season. I heard the second season was done by a different company. So I didn't watch that one as much. But the first season was amazing. And I heard they're making a game based off of One Punch Man that's like... you don't play as One Punch Man, which is funny. You actually play as like the other heroes in the story. Because I mean, what fun would it be to just show up and punch something once and you're done, right? So, but they cleverly worked around it where they basically did a timer. So they set like, okay, you are another hero and you have to fight the monster and you have so much time to try not to die before One Punch Man shows up and hits him once and kills him, right? So, okay, so I'm going to take this a little lighter, grab this, that's kind of pinkish. I guess it is pinkish. And I know this is being caused from the light and not so much the coloring of his skin, but I like it, so I'm just going to pop it brighter right there on the nose. Okay, so now what I want to do is Mob Psycho. I've not heard of that one. Okay, so to inflate these, just to give it a little surface texture, what you can do is you can manually inflate them by hand, like this, or you can do it, you know, through the deformation menu and do it all at once. But I tend to like to hand inflate them because, well, as you can see, it's just you can make it too heavy-handed, right? I have not watched any of the Dragon Ball stuff. I don't know if Avatar: The Last Airbender would count as an anime. It's like an American anime, but that's one of my favorite cartoons of all time. Just subtly bump these out. So if I wanted these scales to not look like they had layers, like right now it looks like they kind of have this layered effect. If I wanted them actually round, I would have to go in each one of these and like inflate it from the inside like this. And that would take a long time. Is the stream laggy? Sorry about that if it is. Isn't laggy for you? Here, let me change this light. There. No, 3D art. I'm not, because that branch of Disney is shut down. Like they shut down their games division, and now I teach online full time. So I teach how to do it in the 3D character workshop is what I made 2 years ago, and that's all I do full time. And I have a lot of students in there, and it's crazy because they're actually starting to get jobs now from the teaching and stuff. It's been crazy. It's been really fun. Okay. My Knight and Me animation has a character similar to Sirloin. Really? I'll have to check that out. Okay, so this is essentially I could blur the mask, and it would. Let's go back and see what that looks like. Go back to where I started inflating things. Let's view the mask again, invert, and then tap. Let's see. If I do blur like this, it will blur both sides. And let's see what inflate looks like now. But it'll still look like a layer, a layered effect, but maybe not as. Yeah, it's a little softer, a little more pillowy. If that's a thing, pillowy. Yeah, it's not bad. Kind of like it. Uh, 3D art, yes, I do. Indeed. Oh, let's see. One. That's pretty cool. I'll check that out. Okay. Yeah, so I do show other Infinity artists in the workshop. I actually have an interview with one of the other artists that I work with on that. Okay. So now I just wanted to test that to make sure that it worked. And I'm actually going to go back to before I blurred the mask, because I want to do the rest of him. Right there. Whoops. Right. Come on. There. Okay. Thanks, Tenshi. Thank you guys so much. I'm working on a brand new series called Stylized Anatomy, and that's kind of the latest thing that's happening with the course, because it's my course is a little bit unique. Sorry if you guys have heard this before. But it's lifetime access, and I do live streaming every single week. So I live stream the Q&As. I do a Q&A every Friday and a student-only live stream every Wednesday. And that's what they're talking about with Sirloin. I'm making a brand new character. His name's Sirloin. Sirloin of beef. Oh, they're creating the Hulkbuster, yeah. So are you in there? 3ER, are you a student right now? You must be if you've seen that. So I do industry pro interviews, and I just barely did one with Joe Pickup. He's another streamer on the Pixelogic live stream here. He doesn't do as much as he used to, but he still streams. He streams on his own quite a bit. That was pretty cool at the Lightbox Expo. I got to meet a bunch of students. In new one, no, but I will be in new. So there's not a new one. It never ends. So once you're in there, you're in there. So I don't have a new course. It's the same course. I just update it, and I've priced it kind of based on how Pixelogic does the pricing on ZBrush, which is you buy it once and all updates are free, kind of a thing. Because I really like that myself. Oops. Sorry, this bit's a little tedious. I'm gonna do some big ones throughout here, just to kind of connect them a little bit. And turn off symmetry and fill in the center. Let's turn it back on. All right. Looks like a kind of a pimply hippo or something. And there's not many scales across the top that I can see, so I'm just going to kind of work them in a little bit. Maybe some larger ones. And I'll just hit them just barely with the airbrush. Then maybe some across this this bit right here. And that'll be nice because it'll give it some curvature. Maybe a couple more back here. We're only really going to be seeing this guy from the front, so I'm not going to take too much time to go all the way down the neck. And then this is interesting because these scales meet each other at this crease right here. So I'm actually gonna, excuse me, I'm gonna take this crease and pinch it a little bit right here. And this is all still in the layer, so I need to be careful of what I'm putting in here. All right. And then what I can do is I can kind of start giving the scales something to hook onto like this. And then be done with it. I'll just kind of let it fade out like that. Any thoughts on scale size philosophy? Where they are bigger versus smaller? What are you talking about, Marty? Like the scales, you mean? It's kind of like that, well, when I think about it, it's just like I'm trying to be as random as possible, and I'm trying to do some bigs, some smalls, and some mediums. It's, I kind of feel, I think about it, I think about it like filling a jar full of like, big golf balls, then marbles, then grains of sand, those three kind of things, you know? It's like, where are the big shapes, where are the medium shapes, and then how to fill in the small shapes. And since I'm streaming right now, I'm kind of rushing things a bit. I would probably take my time some more if I weren't streaming live, to think about the shape sizes even a little bit more. But it is it's a good question. And on this one, I'm not really sure, but I'm just going to kind of roll these things out. Yep, random rock sizes, essentially. And I'm also kind of overlapping them like bricks. You know, like bricks are like this, and then like this. You know what I mean? They're like kind of overlapped. So as I'm putting them in here, I'm trying to overlap them that way. Either this way or this way, depending on the direction of them. I didn't do as good of a job down here. These are more roundish, and I also try to make them have a direction, so they're not perfectly round. But again, down here I was kind of rushing them, so they're more circular. Yeah. It's a good question though. So like on this one, drop it down here. I'm kind of like thinking about going in this direction, like these are. But if I were to do this for real and not on a stream, I would probably take them a step further and like cut in all these little wrinkles and, you know, like take it to the next level of realism, even though it's not a realistic character. But for this guy on the stream, I'm just kind of, I don't want to say rushing, but I'm rushing. Hey, what's up, Danny S? Or Danny's 85, how's it going? Oh, right, yep, that's a good point too, Marty. Yep. So, bigger on flatter, larger areas, and smaller when they get down in the cracks and crevices. I probably could have done a better job at that, but yeah, you're right. So like up here, they're big and cover more area. That's kind of how they work on real reptiles and birds and things with feathers. So I'm just going to kind of fade these out down the neck. I'm not going to take the time to do the entire neck because that would just take the rest of the stream essentially, because I want to get this guy posed and looking to the side and with an expression on his face. So I'm just going to kind of fade these off. And hopefully it'll look good enough when it's all said and done. We'll see. Fingers crossed, right? It's worked in the past for me before with that T-Rex, so that's kind of what I'm banking on. Well, thanks, Marty. I appreciate it. I'm like, how many people want to see me make scales on a dinosaur for an hour? That's what's going through my head. I'm like, just hurry. It's like watching people do UVs or something. Morse code. Deet, 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 deet. Yep, that's totally Morse code. I'm going to connect some of these and make them a little more chaotic, I think. Not so perfect. Fill in some of that negative space. Whoops. A little bit more. Especially on going this direction. Because I want to give a little more... because I'm also paying attention to what's between the scales more than the scales themselves. What's up, Matt? It's hypnotic. Pay attention to the scales. Gosh, I hate when I accidentally like hit the surface too quick and it makes my scales blurry. It's irritating. That's true, Neil. Spots on the cowboy. That's another one. If you guys haven't seen that cowboy I did during the live stream, what has it been, a year ago? Something like that. I've kind of moved away from doing large projects on here for that reason. Man, this one's all even. I'm also trying not to be even with my scales. You know, it's hard as a human to be random because your natural tendency is to make it perfect and straight and CG looking, and you know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's right, Mortar. I finished it for the summit last year. The only one I really have to 3D print, I'm not going to have a 3D print this year. Although, I don't know if I want to say it or not, but there's a guy who worked at the company that did the prep work between us and the factory. And there's a guy that worked there, and he has a bunch of the manufactured models left over from Infinity. And so he's going to bring a couple and let me check them out. And I'm super excited about it. He's bringing my the Hulk that I worked on for, it was going to be a premium figure, and it never saw the light of day. And then Hera is another one, and Jin Urso. All these characters that never saw the light of day. And I can't wait to see. You can totally turn these guys into boots. Nice boots. So, anyway, I'm excited for that. So I won't have a print there, but I will have. I'm hoping to see those things. Super excited about. Whoops. You missed this session. It's not over yet. Still going. Can you see the Hulk? Well, let's see. Let me save this with the mask and everything on. Let's see. I'm talking about stylized whites. I think you meant to say, what's your philosophy with detail? hold on a second. This is having issues. Why? It's trying to save, but it's locked up. I don't know what's going on. Please don't lock up. ZBrush. So my philosophy is you can go realistic with textures as far as you want, or you can be as stylized as you want, even on a stylized character. For example, you can see what we did with the Disney Infinity characters, where the surface textures were just as stylized as the characters themselves. They were actually meant to look like vinyl collectible toys. And if you think about like, say, Panda that DreamWorks did, like Kung Fu Panda, if you look at the textures on him, he's a stylized character, but he has extremely realistic textures. Like you can see, you know, the cloth detail and all, and even the hair detail and all that stuff. So I do not know what's going on with my ZBrush. Hold on a second. Pop an open task manager. Come on. It's just frozen on here. Do I ever do live feedback or other people's work? Pedro, I do for my students in my course, but not really during my Pixelogic live stream. Sorry about that. Let's see. Sorry, I think if I end this, it's going to crash. And I don't know when the last time it saved. So I'm trying to avoid it. It's seriously just frozen here. Do you do hard surface stuff? Occasionally I will for like props and things, but I don't really do like, you know, a lot of, yeah, I have tried Alt Tab and it's not working. But thanks for the suggestion. Let's see. Why isn't it working? Let me just close some things. See if I can get it to let go. Something. Oh, here we go. Okay, there we go. So I have this restream chat thing, which I need to put down here, by the way, because you guys are probably like, who's chatting? Let me put it right here. Okay, so basically restream chat stays on top of everything. And so basically it gave me a little window that says, it already exists, do you want to replace it? I knew it was something like that. Okay, there we go. Whew. All right, crisis averted. Yeah, Kyle. Dang it, Kyle. Okay, there we go. We got it. All right. You know what? I can show this. It's already out in the public, so I'll show it to you. If I can find it. Yep, I just saved. Okay. Let's see. I have to hold on a second. Base. This might be it. Let's check it out. And he's giant, so it might slow down the stream. Like he's literally big. There it is. Okay. Here, let me hide it. Okay, so Ian Jacobs did the original model, and then I posed this and made the base and the rocks and all that stuff. So let me turn on perspective so you can see it. But so this was supposed to be like a foot tall, I think, or something like that. Like, yeah, like a regular Infinity character is about maybe this tall. And that's how big he is. So you can kind of see that. How do you change that ZBrush color from orange to blue? Oh, like the interface, you mean? You just go into preferences into interface colors, and you can adjust things right here. A foot, yeah. Yeah, it's tall, like 12 inches from the US. How is that going to fit on the base? These were not meant to be played with. These are just statues. So they're just collectibles. They're literally, you don't put them on the base to play with them. They're just collectibles. So anyway, am I 3D? So it was ready to be manufactured. So the guy that works at the middle company, he is bringing it to the ZBrush Summit. So no, I'm not going to give you the ZTO. Nice though. Nice asking. Okay, let's see. And then Hera. Well, let's see. Hera. Hero. So this is Jin. I can show you Jin. I've showed her before on the stream. When you bring home bad grades. Daniel, yes. Do you have to have a good level in anatomy? Yeah, you have to have some anatomy knowledge for sure. Okay, so this is Jin Urso from Rogue One. So this was the last model I made before they shut down the studio. But he has a version of her as well, which is cool. So now I gotta make sure I save this. Then I go back to this like little meat dinosaur after those. So those characters took me like weeks to make, and this one's been what, 3 hours so far. So that's kind of the difference. All right. Just save this one more time because I need to reset the ruler file in the background to clear this out. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Zofo. How strict was Disney with you keeping your source files? Very. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let me just finish this guy really quick. Just finish these scales on him so we can get him posed and done. Turn symmetry back on. Oh, let me switch out. Sorry, I need to run the project file again so I can clear those other things out. Jose, yeah. When am I going to conduct a live session again? Probably in 2 Mondays from now. Because I'll be at the ZBrush Summit next Monday. But I'll be coming home. Do I have any of the concept art? Somewhere. Okay, let's turn this floor off. Excuse me. Okay. All right, let me just quickly and finish up these scales really quick. This Morse code. And I'm just going to kind of fade them out down his neck, I think, so not too many more here. I'll make them get a little bit larger as they go down here and a little farther apart. Just so I can kind of fade the scales out. Did I not have symmetry turned on? Gosh dang it, hold on. Up. I gotta roll this history back. Do it one more time. Come on, symmetry. There we go. Is there any feature tool you wish could be added to ZBrush that could help specifically in doing stylized stuff? Not really. I mean, the ZRemesher can always be a little better, but for what it is right now, it's amazing. So, yeah, it's pretty dang decent right now. Come on. I'm just gonna fade these off. Did I fade this out? Oh, okay, there we go. Not too far back. It'd be cool if you could apply symmetry to your last changes to the model. So, yeah, symmetry is a tricky thing for sure. How many layers even on? Yeah, guess it wouldn't let me paint on here if the layer was off. It usually complains. Okay, so I think that's enough. Looks like he's got measles. Let's invert this and then finish up the coloring of his scales. And then we'll twist his neck kind of thing and pose him up. If we can do that in the next 15 minutes. Here we go. How do you handle negative feedback? I've not been doing it for that long. However, pretty much anything responsive I gotten was just plain and simple negative. The hotkey for inverse is just hold down Control and click on the background. That's inverse. Okay, so if you're gonna post your stuff on like a Facebook group or something like that, just prepare for the jerks, right? They're gonna be jerks, especially if you're brand new. You got to start somewhere, right? Honestly, and I hate to keep saying like, hey, my course, but I provide a community for the people that are learning with me in my course, and it's a safe place to post where you can grow as a new student, and you'll not get negative feedback. But you kind of have to grow a thick skin, because people are just going to be jerks because it's anonymous on the internet. You know, that's what you get with the internet. But you just kind of have to look past all of that noise and just decide, you know what, just hopefully there'll be some people out there that will give you some constructive criticism that will help you grow as an artist. It sucks that it's very few and far between. But yeah, that's kind of a crappy thing about it. Why symmetry turned off again? When I'm talking, I seem to forget to turn symmetry back on. Oh yeah, Beetlejuice. Yeah, that's one of my favorite shows. Okay, so let's go back to here, and we're just going to gather some color and hit these again. I want to put some gradients on the mouth on the inside too, and add his eyeballs. So I'm going to kind of be in speed mode a little bit. So just some subtle colors. You don't need to be heavy-handed with it at all. So see how I'm fading it out? I don't even care about the ones down there. I know, Neil. I know it. But this is just a pupil, so it's just going to be a squash sphere. Yep, there you go. That's it. Yep, grow a thick skin, pick the constructive feedback, and let the jerks roll aside. Yep, that's it. but don't, it's hard. I want to say don't stop posting, because you'll never get feedback if you don't post. If you don't put your stuff out there, you're not going to get any feedback. So you just kind of have to wade through the jerks, right? Hey, what's up, Scott? Thanks so much. Okay, I'm going to start with this base color first, this kind of orange in here, and get some of these bigger scales going on. Fade it down like that. And then get some of this lighter stuff. All right. What does happen if you're the biggest jerk to your own stuff? That's everybody, man. You should be your own worst critic. You may have heard that before, but it's true. Usually people are their own worst critic. That just means you're the harshest on your stuff because you're trying to get better, right? So, and you should be your own worst critic. A lot of people go, oh, that looks awesome, but like right now I'm like, oh man, I wish these scales were better. They kind of suck. But you know, everybody's trying. Just got to keep trying. That's how you get better. Just keep going. I always equate learning how to sculpt characters to learning how to play an instrument, like learning guitar or something like that, right? The more you practice, the better you'll get, kind of a thing. Did I not put scales on the top of the eyeballs? Where is the mask? I didn't. Let's fix that. I just wanted a couple, just a few. Let's go. Whoop. Oh, come on. There we go. Got to be in the right mode. It'll be very great in the next stream. So, okay, I'm glad you actually brought that up, 3D art, because what I'm going to be doing, and it's kind of a little early to say, but what I want to do is I want to kind of do a vlog where I make some videos on YouTube and I talk about that stuff. Because if I talk about it during a stream, it just kind of gets lost in all the noise of Twitch, and you know, I kind of want to do a vlog where I talk about, you know, what to put in your portfolio, how to get a job in the industry, what companies look for, all that kind of stuff. And I just want to put it in kind of a blog vlog form. So I'm working on that. I'll probably start after the ZBrush Summit sometime. The eye material? Okay. Is it driving you crazy? Okay, that's enough. I just want to lightly go, just a dusting of these scales, just to kind of offset them off the body, just to give it some texture. You like that idea? Awesome. And I want to make some of my pro interviews public too. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I just want to do some gradients on like the tongue here and the inside of the mouth and the nose just really quickly. What time we got? 9 minutes. Okay, all right, forget it. I'm just going to do the eyes. Let's go grab this color. Wait a minute. It's like those old cartoons, like, like, Okay. Let's turn on local symmetry. I'm just going to squash these spheres down like this. Kind of twist them a little large. Okay, now what I want to do is add like the material, the shiny material. There's my hand in the camera. Shiny material. That's called toy plastic. It gives this little tiny highlight. See that little highlight? Just for fun, we'll add that. Okay, and then I'll switch back to skin shade 4. There you go. Now let's, I kind of want to pose him. We'll pose him and then we'll finish coloring him up. Okay, so let's save this out really quick. Save as T3, yeah. All right. Pupils. He's kind of wall-eyed right now because he's in his T-pose. All right, here we go. Let's go T-pose mesh. It's going to turn dark. Let's make him gray. Okay, mask lasso. Sorry, I'm going to bust through this really quick, and I'm not going to talk much about it. Let's get a perspective. And then let's store this camera. I'm going to do 50, store camera. And then I'm going to warp him a little bit. Save this camera. Perspective 2. I gotta pull his teeth out so you can see him. Okay, turn his neck. So now I can go back to perspective 2 and it'll just kind of match. Clear that. Let's get his neck looking better. I gotta aim his pupils so he's not looking off into nowhere. Such a crazy twisted neck. Okay. Pull his teeth down. Yeah, kind of. So just pull him down like this. So you can see him. There's so much that I still need to fix with this guy. Tick tock, tick tock. Pull these out of sight. I'll have to pull his throat in and pull his smile higher, which is messing up his eyes. This is gonna be so messed up, but that's okay. All right, let's do these eyeballs. Are these the same? They are. We're gonna say, are these the same polygroups? They totally are. Okay, so let's try that again. Just this one. Move the gizmo to the center and just kind of rotate this around so we can be looking to the side. Same with this one. Go to that camera angle. Let's see, and we can adjust this gizmo once we have it. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, not bad. I'll probably keep tweaking on this after the stream is over, just to keep getting it closer. Look at these teeth sticking through here. Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens when we go back. We'll probably cry. Up, 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 up. Yay. Pull this up even more. And the snout isn't quite as long as I have it. Cheat, cheat. Tiptoeing into the valley. I'm jumping in head first, man. There's no tiptoeing. We're just going for it. Man, I need to tip his entire head. I'm just gonna fake it. I'm just gonna act like I'm gonna tip it in here. Pull this down. Come on, grab it. Pull this down. Pull this up. Pull this down. Just keep nudging it so it looks like his head's tipped this way. All right, I think that'll do it for now. Even though I'm not a huge fan of where the teeth are at right now, I need to do some more painting for the gradients of the inside of the mouth. It looks awfully pink. You own property in the Valley of the Suck? Yeah, we all do. Thanks, Zofo. Yeah, not. Each time I do something like this, I'm like, well, it's not bad for 4 hours, I think. 4 hours of work. I'm just gonna grab this tongue and grab the airbrush and just go to town with darkening it. Not symmetry. I want to warm that up too. I want maybe some darker pink in here. And on the guy itself, increase the resolution and then paint a darker version of this underneath his tongue. That went dark fast. Maybe not that dark. Why is it flipped? Oh, you know why? Layer. That's why why is it painting black? Because of the layer. And I don't want to turn that layer on because it's going to mess it up. Layers. Okay, yeah, layers. See, that's kind of why I typically don't use layers. Let's try it now. Nope. I'm going to bake it. Hopefully it doesn't break it. It did. Gosh. Dang layers. Okay. Try it now. There we go. Okay. Clear that mask out. Oh, it's painting material. That's why. Aha. All right. Sorry, I just had to work through that mess really quick. Now it's painting the color I want. Sorry, I'm just going to go a little bit over time on stream today. You guys don't mind. Little OT. All right, let's see what this looks like. Better. Got you. No more streamers till tomorrow. Who used to stream after me? Was it? I thought Eamon used to stream after me. Just gonna bring these gums a little closer to the color of the interior of the mouth. And then I'm gonna bring these lips down. I need to finish my my stream with Polygon. I feel bad. We did 2 streams together. It was kind of a YouTube thing, and then we were gonna do a third, and then we just both kind of got busy, and it never happened. We need to finish it off. All right, well, that's what we're gonna get. It's about as close as we're gonna get right now today. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Like I said, always, I have, if you want these brushes and this user interface, I give them away for free over on 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can go check those out. And have a fantastic rest of your week. If you're going to be watching next weekend, it's the ZBrush Summit. They're going to be presenting live all next weekend, starting on Thursday with the live sculpt off. So if you want to check that out, super cool. I'll be there in person. Can't wait to see everybody there. If you can make it there, great. If you can't, please watch it online. I will be giving away 3 seats of my course during the ZBrush Summit. So try and win those if you're not already a student, which I know a handful of you already are. So yeah, thanks again, everybody, for watching. It's been fun. And we will see you next time. All right. Cheers. We'll see you guys. Thank you.